velvet spray tutorial. This way of glaze is probably my favorite. It's actually very easy despite it looks a bit complicated. I'm going to talk about the ingredients, equipment and technique so you can achieve perfect coating for your mousse cake. So ingredients are, it's very simple ingredients. It's a 50-50 ratio of chocolate and cocoa butter. In terms of the chocolate, you can use white, milk or dark chocolate. With milk and dark chocolate, you are quite limited with the coloring. Basically, milk chocolate and dark chocolate is already coloring itself, so you don't need any food coloring in that case. But if you're going to use a white chocolate, that's when you have all of your creativity, because you can use many colors to color your coating. As for the cocoa butter, you can use any cocoa butter, fully melt, pour on top of your chocolate, melt chocolate and blitz it with a stick blender. At this point, you can add any food coloring. So let's talk about food coloring. Basically, you have two options. It can be as a powder and it can be as a liquid. So always check that you have a oil or fat soluble coloring. This will blend perfectly with the chocolate and cocoa butter. You can find them in the larger bottles. You can mix your own colors. You can find different small bottles and different brands. Basically, the main criteria is oil soluble. Don't use any gel colors because they have water and that will ruin your mixture. So only oil-based coloring. The next is equipment. Obviously, you can use a professional grade sprayed guns that usually connect into the compressor. This is a bit complicated, and if you're doing the cakes occasionally, you definitely don't need it. All you need is a basic paint sprayed gun. This one is very inexpensive and doesn't require any compressor. So the main thing when you are going to buy it, if you're going to buy it, is pay attention for this container. Some of them are just too large and you will need much more liquid inside in order to spray it. So the smaller this compartment, the less ingredients you will use to spray the mousse cake. Also pay attention that it has kind of under the angle nozzle, so you can utilize as much as possible liquids when you just left a little bit on the bottom, and then you can adjust particle size. Usually you will find the numbers on a nozzle from probably 1 to 9 and just adjust to 4 or 5 depending what you're looking for. I do like the grainy structure, not very fine. So that's how you can adjust and spray as fine as you want. Usually after blitzing ingredients, I will use a fine strain or even a cheesecloth, so there is no large particles that can clog your nozzle. And the last one is kind of maintenance. After using a spray gun, I prefer to fill the container with hot water and just rinse it from inside. But sometimes it's still a little bit of cocoa butter left inside, and then you are not able to spray it because cocoa butter is solidified. In this case, you will need a hair dryer or you can use a heat gun. Heat gun is a bit more, I would say, dangerous because it's heating up quite to the higher temperatures. So it would be easier to use any hair dryer and just heat it up this area so the cocoa butter inside will melt. When applying the coating, make sure that your mousse cake is fully frozen and doesn't have any condensation on top. But in case it's not sticking properly, you can put the mousse cake back in the freezer and apply second coating. And if you have any questions, just let me know in comments and I will reply to you. When applying on a frozen mousse cake, the ideal temperature of the mixture is 45 degrees Celsius.